You know what's better than camping in your van in the wintertime? Camping in your van in the wintertime with 2 other vans and 2 of your best friends. What's up, guys? It's Chad with Living the Van Life up here in Washington. And today it's about winter van life and sub-freezing temperatures. Most importantly, I want to get a little bit in depth about what I use for my bedding. I've changed things up as of recently with spending so much time in the van. After all, it's one thing to go camping for a weekend in your van and use a sleeping bag. But if you're going to be living in your van full time, you got to go a little bit extra when it comes to comfort. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how I stay warm and comfortable during these nights when it gets sub-freezing. We're going to go on a little bit of a van life adventure up into the mountains, hopefully get up into some snow. Today we've got 3 vans rounded up. We've got Joey and we've got Eldad and myself. So we'll talk to them a little bit about what they do to stay warm in the winter when it comes to sleeping. We've got ourselves a convoy headed up the Mount Baker Highway, State Route 542 here in Washington, seeing if we can get up into the snow line, which is probably about 4,000, 4,500 feet elevation. This time of year, it's kind of hit and miss on where exactly the snow line's going to land. After all, we want to get up into the snow, so hoping that up in the mountains it's actually producing some good winter weather up there and that the snow is accumulating. This time we're going to see if we can get a little bit off the highway. We've brought a ton of firewood. We're going to have a fire. We brought some food to cook. Got some whiskey to drink. We're just going to enjoy some good old van life. I think one of the things that I love most about living in my van is when it comes to adventures like this, there's no packing, there's no preparing. It's literally just turn the key and go. After all, when you live in your van, for the most part, the van's packed and it's ready to go. Winter camping at its finest. We've got vans up in the mountains, in the snow, and off-road. The best of all worlds. Up here with 3 friends, 3 vans. We're gonna build a fire, sip some whiskey, and enjoy van life. Aw, man.
That's what you get when you use kitchen saran wrap to wrap up your own firewood.
We're up, I'm gonna guess probably about 4,000 feet elevation. We're like right on the edge of the snow line. Unfortunately, we didn't get deep into the snow. Right up over here, we're at the base of Mount Shuckson, which is probably one of the most photographed mountains in the world. It's getting dark, we missed the mountain, but nonetheless, we got an epic camp spot, and who knows, it could clear off. We could find ourselves a cool view of Mount Shuckson up here. Nonetheless, we got the vans all circled up here, building a fire, just gonna chillax and enjoy van life. The boys are outside maintaining the fire. It's about dinner time. We got ourselves some sausages to cook over the fire. Keeping it simple with dinner tonight. Nothing like a good old sausage roast over the Yep, I deserve that one right there. What kind of sausages you got, Eldad?
Oh, we got all sorts. Cheddar, jalapeno.
So it's a kind of a sausage smorgasbord.
A sausage fest, if you will.
Nothing like cooking some sausages over the fire out there. It just cleared off, which means it's gonna get pretty darn cold out. Looks like it's probably about 25, maybe 28 degrees Fahrenheit out here on the front bumper of the van. And also, it's whiskey time.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys. Whiskey time. Meanwhile, in the van here, got the LED on a nice glow. Got some tunes kicking on the Bluetooth audio there, listening to some good old country music. Got the bed laid out. Got the Mr. Buddy heater sitting down here on the floor. roasting away, getting the bed nice and warm, so by the time we jump into bed, everything's nice and cooking. Got the top popped here in the Westfalia and chilling up here on the mountain. Hopefully we'll have a pretty cool view to show you guys come morning time. Meanwhile, the fire's kicking over here. The boys are chilling by the fire. Italian style sausages we're gonna break into and roast over that fire. Okay, so we got the Italian sausage nice and warm on here. We're gonna take Eldad's idea of the tortilla, lay it right over the hot dog. That way we're warming up the hot dog and the tortilla at the same time. Put a little twist on this one. Add a little bit of Herde's red salsa on there. Ooh yeah. Ah. Delicious. German sausage burritos with a Mexican twist.
Wouldn't the burrito be the Mexican twist itself?
True, Joe's got a point there. Anyways, guys, it's winter time. We're way up here in the mountains. We got a fire going. We got whiskey. We got German sausage burritos with an extra Mexican twist. Seriously, it's money. Try it. Just make sure you cover up the end of your tortilla because it starts dripping out the bottom. When you got 3 friends in vans all chilling up in the wilderness, it's a little bit tough to gather around the Mr. Buddy heater and drink your whiskey and BS. So out here in the wilderness, you can build a fire. And look at this thing. Meanwhile, the atmosphere is sitting at about 25 degrees Fahrenheit.
So wintertime camping usually means cold weather, so we have a lot of blankets. We've got our Mexico-inspired blanket. And what I like to do personally when I'm making my bed is make it before all the fun activities start happening, because no one wants to make a bed if they're not necessarily sober. I like to tuck in my feet so my feet don't get cold because I'm 6'5", so they dangle over the edge. And then we have a nice wool blanket, good old wool blanket. And then an old sleeping bag just for weight, to have like weight feels good. And then just a down comforter. The coldest that we've slept without sleeping bags was 14 degrees. We're up in Alberta, Banff, if you will. We went camping and I was like, you know what? I'm not bringing a sleeping bag this time. I want to try it with just the blankets. When you're in a sleeping bag, like you can't like curl up, you can't stretch out. And if you have a partner with you in your sleeping bag, like you both are in your own cocoons, so you can't like really cuddle up and get body warmth from that either, or just, you know, some other stuff. So thought about eliminating it and just started thinking about layering it and whatnot. It also makes the van feel more of like a cabin, not like I'm a backpacking tent where I'm just like here for a hot moment, but just builds like a whole atmosphere of like, all right, this is home, this is comfortable, this just feels right. And that's my bed.
This fire's dwindling. We've burned a good amount of firewood. Talking politics, talking vans, talking life. The stars are out, the clouds have completely disappeared, all the fog's disappeared. Eldad's the master fire tamer. Instead of Eldad, we call him El Fuego.
El Fuego, fire god. The firecracker.
Did you say the firecracker? Eldad.
What?
It's bedtime.
It is bedtime.
I honestly don't know how you're going to stay warm in this thing. I mean, you're getting into a cold bed as it is. Like, you don't even have a way to warm up anything.
Have you ever seen a dog sleep? A lot of times
yeah.
they're like kind of like... You just start running in your bed. Warm up real quick.
So you get in your bed and you start running? I'm trying really hard to take this serious. Really, I wanted to like give some insight on how other van lifers do their take on cold weather. And this is about as far as we got with Eldad.
What do you mean I don't got anything? Pretty warm in here now.
Good.
You look ridiculous.
Is that how you're going to sleep?
Sure. Worst case comes to worst case. There's 2 worst cases right there. Well, John told me it was going to be a fucking blizzard, so I brought all the blizzard gear. All right, I got it. Got a fucking secondary hat. All right, guys, check it out. It's about midnight or so. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. Condensation, and I'm out.
We'll do one more temperature check before we hit the bed. Looks like about 22 degrees. It's cooling right off. That'll make things interesting for waking up. We'll check things, see how we're doing inside the van. With it being a cold, chilly, very crisp 22 degrees out, sitting here inside the van with the Mr. Buddy heater on, it's actually sitting at about 68 degrees right now. That's just about bikini weather, even with the top popped. I know that in past videos that I've done about cold weather camping on my channel, I've talked about my Cabela's 15-degree down sleeping bag, and I've talked about how that was always my only bedding. And I really swore by that for a really long time. It actually worked. It was really minimalistic. It was small, compact, it could fold up and tuck away nicely. A lot lately I've really wanted to create more of a home type feeling inside my van. Like Joey was talking about, giving it that freedom and that spacious feel. I've invested in a down comforter and another blanket underneath that. And I tell you what, that's really been an improvement for van life here in the Westfalia. I've never come close to actually maxing out the combination of actually keeping me warm. This bedding is really working out well for cold weather style of camping. And it really gives a nice spacious type feel. I've gone with the Four Seasons down comforter. What really provides the warmth with the down comforter is the loft that the feathers give, the space in between the cold air and yourself. So keep that on top so that can be nice and fluffy up on top. As my base layer down underneath, I've actually got an UGG brand comforter. This thing is super soft. It's got the Sherpa style material underneath. It's nice and thick. And then underneath me, I've got the 3-inch memory foam mattress. And then underneath that, just a Mexican style blanket. And that's really just to keep the mattress and the bedding protected when everything's folded over the back. So anyways, that's what I use for my bedding during these cold winter nights. Now another key aspect that I find when it comes to winter camping in a van, your standard typical sweatpant. For my top, I like to wear just a hoodie. I like to have the actual hood on it because I do wear that. A nice set of heavy, warm winter socks to go on your feet. And then I also do the stocking cap on my head. That combined with the hood over it, I can tuck into bed and stay nice and warm. Bam, just like that, got myself into bed mode. One thing that I have really preached in many of my other winter camping videos is that I do not sleep with my Mr. Buddy heater on. Whenever I'm using the Mr. Buddy heater, I always like to just be able to keep an eye on it. So that's where I prepare myself with my bedding and my clothing for any sort of cold weather winter camping situation. I like to sleep with the stocking cap on, I like to have my hood over the top, and I like to tuck my face in underneath the blanket so I'm not breathing that ice cold air. By the time we wake up in the morning, it's going to be at least 30 degrees here inside the van. Guys, we'll catch you in the morning, hoping for that nice sunrise. Peace out. Morning guys, survived through the night, nice and cozy here in bed. So right now it is about 22 degrees, that's inside the van. It just blows my mind how warm you can actually stay. I will say one of the key things is to make sure and pull the blankets all the way over your head. Leave a small hole for fresh air to come in for breathing, and breathing inside of it definitely holds in all that heat that you need. But that's definitely key to staying warm. That is with no insulation on the windows, and that is with the top popped. So that's a good little experiment to see really how much temperature we lose having the top popped versus the top down. Because right next door to me, we've got some Westfalias with the tops down, and they got thermometers inside. Let's go see how warm they stayed inside. Jojo! Jojo! Well, there you go. The top down, curtains closed, and it's actually colder inside of there. With the top pop, we're at about 22, 23 degrees. With the top down, it's looking like 21 degrees. Not much temperature difference with the top pop or the top down. Having a home on wheels, being able to turn the key, drive up here for the night, camp out with good friends, and then waking up to this view.
What the fuck is wrong with you? We don't want to be on that shit looking like fucking Hagrid. I gotta look like I've robbed the fucking neighbors.
just like that, our night of camping up here in the Alpine, in the mountains of the North Cascade Mountains is over. Had a nice whiskey sipping session with the boys around the fire last night. Enjoyed some van life. Just like that, we're packing up camp. Everybody's getting the frost off the windshield and getting the show on the road. I hope you guys find this information useful. It sure has helped me over the years to be able to become comfortable with camping in these sort of environments. So whether you're actually living and surviving in your van, or you're just going out and adventuring in your van, you don't want to let any sort of inclement weather come between you and an adventure. So if you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for following along. If you're new to the channel, push the subscribe button. Come on aboard for more adventures like this. If you like this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button. Guys, peace out and keep on trucking.